EA Sports. It's in the game.
Hey, remember how we got here today? Because we smelled greatness. Because we wanted to be special.
What does it take to win?
Garrett Hartley could send the New Orleans Saints to their first Super Bowl.
Teammates, focused on the same goal. Fighting for the city they call home.
There we go.
It takes big risks that sometimes don't pay off.
If they go for this, I am going to be absolutely stunned. This will be a decision they discuss for a long time.
But when they do,
Onside kick to start the second half. Really unbelievable decision by Sean Payton.
get that much closer to a championship. For your team, for your city, for your home.
Hartley sends the Saints to the Super Bowl.
That's what the NFL is all about.
With the game on the line, Vince Young looks, runs, throws. It's caught for a touchdown, and then it's taken away. Beecham goes in for a touchdown.
Stokely down the sideline. Can they catch him? Stokely. Wow.
Hand to the face, the ball is out. The Arizona Cardinals win it.
Sean Payton said, I will let you help me design this offense. I'd say it worked out pretty well for you.
What does it take?
Going up top.
Welcome, subscribers and football fans. This is Throwback Jack 07 bringing you a 2010 team assessment of the Chicago Bears franchise in Madden 11. In this video, I'll be breaking down the roster in its entirety, assessing contract situations and position depth, while identifying team needs. This assessment will be the blueprint moving forward that will affect how I sign free agents, handle trades, and attack the draft. In the long run, I'm hoping these decisions will be best for the franchise, making for a successful 2010 campaign as GM. We're just going to hop into the settings here real quick, just make sure everything is to my specifications. I usually like to play on 7-minute quarters, a little bit of runoff. I'll probably leave about 15 seconds on the clock. Just for the preseason only. I like to leave that off actually during the regular season just so I could kind of control the clock a little bit more and get more time of possession. Auto strafe, I usually turn that off as well. Auto sprints off. It's usually it's to your benefit if you just learn to hit your blocks at the right time as opposed to having the CPU run for you. Player sliders right here. I don't know if you guys have ever played on all Madden mode in Madden 11. If you have, you'd realize that it's absolutely broken. There's seven to eight, broken tackles by the running back every single carry, and it just gets to the point where it's absolutely ridiculous. CPU is completely overpowered, so I went ahead and Googled some sliders that would make it kind of even for both parties. Giving it a challenge for me, mind you, and also, the ability for the CPU to win as well. So in order for me to win, I'll have to use my offensive weapons appropriately, get some timely stops on defense, and just have a really good game plan going into each game. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Chicago Bears franchise, Madden 11. Now you may be asking yourself, why don't I play some Madden 18? Or why not Madden 12? Why not Madden 13? Madden 25? Well, my name is Throwback Jack. I am a throwback gamer. So I don't like paying for DLC. I don't pay to play. I'm completely against that. And I believe a lot of the older games were more complete. They're not like Destiny where you have to buy this expansion pack in order to make the games worth your while. In my humble opinion, I think Madden 2005 was probably a time in which franchise mode was at its peak. Against popular opinion, I was all for the vision cone in Madden 06. The vision cone actually made the awareness rating matter for a quarterback. Guys like Rex Grossman couldn't tear it up quite like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Tom Brady and Peyton Manning's vision cone covered like 4/5 of the field. Now, if you're Rex Grossman, on the other hand, you would have to go up to the line of scrimmage and kind of just break down the defense and know where you're going with that ball right away. So, Madden 06, to me, tops Madden 05. If we're breaking down Maddens for the PS3, in my opinion, Madden 11 is the best. If you look at it, Madden 09, ball didn't even spin when you threw the ball. I don't know if it was just my version, I didn't have a right patch for it, but that was ridiculous. If I go into replay, that ball just looks like it's a freaking knuckleball going down the field. Madden 10, it was alright. I didn't think the player models were up to par yet. Madden 11, player models were out spot on. I think it had more visors, more face masks, things like that. Then you get to Madden 12. Madden 12, completely different problem in its own. The imported draft class, those guys had massive shoulder pads for the PS3 version. I don't know if it was for the Xbox. Madden 13, the physics engine, kind of sucked if you ask me. After Madden 13, I was done with Madden. And that, my friends, is why we're playing Madden 11 today. Here we are with the QB position. We got Jay Cutler currently at an 83, an A potential, 1 year left on his contract. So I really want to get another quarterback in just to take his place eventually, so I want to sign him to, let's say, like a 3-year contract. 2 year for that guy riding the pine, and then probably a 3rd year option just in case my other guy isn't up to par. And then, of course, if we need more time to find another quarterback, we could always franchise tag him. Running backs, we got Matt Forte, complete beast, and Chester Taylor, kind of a 3rd down guy that can catch passes. Nobody really at the fullback position. Kind of sad to say it. If Devin Hester is our number 1, that is kind of sad. He's more of a slot guy. Johnny Knox, the number 2. At tight end, we have Greg Olsen. He will probably be our primary target in the passing game, especially on 3rd downs if Jay's not checking it down. At left tackle, we have a human turnstile, Chris Williams. Left guard, these guys have B potential, but that doesn't mean anything. Olin Kreutz is on the verge of retirement. Roberto Garza is more of a left guard. And at right tackle, not much doing. So our offensive line needs a revamp. When it comes to our defense, in 2010, we're actually pretty solid. I want Mark Anderson to be on the right end. I think he's better suited going up against a left tackle. Just attacking the QB's blind side. He's kind of quick. I just kind of want him to get him in that Robert Mathis mode where he's just going after a quarterback strip every single play. When it comes to Julius Peppers, I want him on the left end. I just couldn't imagine being a QB, dropping back and seeing a guy that's 6'7", breaking away from your right tackle and just coming right at you. That would really affect the passing game completely. Would probably generate more picks to Charles Tillman and all those guys in the secondary. I have Corey Wooten as Julius Peppers' backup, and I want to move Israel Adonijah to the right end. I think that would make our defensive ends a little more balanced and our depth chart looking much, much sweeter. That brings us to Henry Melton. A guy that's capable of playing both defensive tackle and defensive end, but I kind of want to bring more speed to our defensive tackle position, so I'm going to bring him on the inside. Not sure if we want to actually eventually move to a 3-4 defense, but I think he's better fit for us at D-tackle. So at this moment in time, you can see that we're pretty stacked at this position. Tommy Harris has an 87, a B potential overall, so as you can tell, I think some of these guys are expendable. Gilbert, for whatever reason in this game, he's got the same number as Julius Peppers, so I want to change that real quick. And that brings us to our outside linebackers. Got Urlacher in the middle, Briggs. These two guys are staying put, so I just need a little bit more depth, and I want to move some players around here. So I'm going to make Hunter Hillenmeyer for the time being. I'm going to go in and edit his position. Let's make him a middle linebacker. So we get some depth there. I do need to get another backup for Briggs on the right side. Well, I guess we'll just have to hit up free agency for that. At corner, we got Charles Tillman, the one and only, the guy that strips balls left and right. He's crazy good. Lots of corners, lots of free safeties, and got a Chris Harris and Josh Bullocks. Let's see here. I'm going to move Craig Stelz to strong safety. And you'll notice in this game, you could actually change the position of your defensive players quite often, and offensive, I should say. So actually making him a strong safety actually gives him a boost in ratings. Free safety, not really too happy with the guys that I have there right now. So I'm going to have Daniel Manning. I'm going to make him a free safety. I think he ended his career as a free safety. That dude is just fast as can be, and man, can he tackle. Crazy good. So we're going to go back to the quarterback position and try to find an equivalent to Jay Cutler. So go down to his overall of an 83. And as you can tell, Jason Campbell really doesn't have a contract set in stone, but Mark Sanchez does. So it looks like for an 82, 83 quarterback, we should be paying like $54 million. That breaks down to $10.8 million per year. It's now time to put our quarterback plan in place. Let's go ahead and re-sign Jay Cutler to a 3-year contract. Like I said before, I really want to get I want to get a new quarterback in here. So the plan is to draft a quarterback this year. And from our options right now, we have it looks like it's going to be Cam Newton or Andrew Luck. So that is if they're going to be available based on my draft position. But I'm going to go ahead and offer him a 3-year contract, probably around the 32s here, 32 and a half. Give him a nice signing bonus so he has no other option to sign. So he accepted, and now we have our bridge quarterback. None of this 7-year contract bullshit with him. Now that we have our quarterback major situation out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and address our offensive line. I want to go ahead and get a right guard because I know Roberto Garza either needs a backup or we need to shift him over to the left guard position, which I said. So I want to make a move for Marshall Yanda. And as I said before, I think our defensive tackle position is pretty stacked at the moment. Tommy Harris seems to be like the odd man out, especially considering his massive contract. And I know I would take a massive cap hit, but to get a player like Marshall Yanda, that's huge for my team. So I want to make sure that Jay Cutler is upright, and I think addressing that guard situation is of the utmost importance. I need to make some moves now. Want to attack the free agency market, but in order to do so, I need to make some cuts. So looking at the QB situation right now, Caleb Haney is our 3rd string guy right now. If I release him, I don't get a cap hit, so he is gone. There is a free agent out there right now that has been in Mike Martz's system. I do want to make an offer to him and get him as our QB number 2, because with Jay's durability, you just never know when he's going to go down. Khalil Bell, I'm going to release him. No cap hit for our running back. We were a little too stacked with guys over there at that position when I needed depth elsewhere. Eddie Williams, not saying that he's a bad player or anything, but he's a 56 in Madden. No cap penalty when I release him. He's gone as well. I don't know what the Bears organization is thinking, carrying 4 tight ends on their team, but since I do have a fullback position open, I'm going to make Manamaliuna our guy. He's actually got pretty decent run blocking ability, and he can catch passes out of the backfield as well. I want him to be like a Marcel Reese type of player, of course, with less speed. Moving on to our wide receiver position, I'm looking at the contracts right now. Earl Bennett's got a massive bonus, so if I do release him, he will... the cap hit would be ridiculous, not even worth it. So Devin Aroma should do. Before the trading deadline, I do want to get another player for him, if not a draft pick. Based on his current overall as a 70, I think he should be around... I should get a 4th round draft pick for him. But I don't want to sell myself short here, so I'm going to try for a 3rd round, see if anyone bites. Continuing with the cleaning house trend, moving on to the offensive line. Really nobody I want to touch at the moment with all those B potentials sitting around there, but James Martin kind of sticks out a little bit. Not quite a 70 overall. He is a 86 strength, so I think in the draft I could probably get somebody to replace him that's even better. So for the time being, I'm going to release him and get a free agent in there to take his place. Left defensive ends and right ends, I've already addressed those guys. Defensive tackle situation, Anthony Adams, he's going to hold his own. Like I said before, I don't know if I want to stick with Lovie Smith's cover 2 defensive scheme, or change it up a little bit and go 3-4. That's the trend currently going with the defenses in the NFL. Linebackers, I still need a backup for Briggs. Shaw, the middle linebacker, not too impressed with his overall, so I might make a change there. Graham, not even a 90 speed. In Madden, I want to keep these guys, my corners especially, because speed is everything in this game, by the way. I want to keep my corners above 90 if at all possible. Going with my corners here. I'm going to go ahead and release Josh Bullocks. I just want to keep all my guys above 70. That's my goal. I want to increase the overall of the team, and I think coming in, the Chicago Bears were like ranked 85 overall. So that's a pretty decent grade. Enough to compete, I guess you could say. The right outside linebackers that we have available, I'm not too happy with these guys. And if I wanted to go with Bullocks, I'm definitely going to overpay for a veteran that's probably going to retire. So I'm going to go Brandon Ayanbadejo, sign him to a 1-year deal, just to solidify that middle linebacker position. And I'll probably end up moving Hillenmeyer from middle linebacker to right outside linebacker. As of right now on the depth chart, we have Devin Hester, our number 1 wide receiver, followed by Johnny Knox. Now, these two guys are, they're smaller, but they're speedsters, so I do want to keep them kind of close together. So if I have Devin Hester in the slot next to Johnny Knox, I could do all kinds of crazy stuff, gadget plays with these guys that I think will make our offense way better. But the thing is, I need a wide receiver number 1. And the best available to us in free agency right now is Terrell Owens. And I don't mind for just 1 year paying this guy some good money to come in and be that number 1 guy. Just to, a 6'3" target for a really big target that could go up there and get the ball and play physical at that number 1 position. That's exactly what I need. So I have no problem signing him whatsoever. And here's the guy that was in Mike Martz's system a few years back. So I am going to go ahead and sign Mark Bulger to a 1-year contract just to back up Jay Cutler as a QB2. Moving on to our guards, seeing what's available at the moment. Not too much available on the left side. Let's try the right. I like Mike Goff a lot. Even though he's 34 years old, I'll sign him to a 1-year contract. He's an 87 strength. I think that's a big upgrade for, the backup for Yanda. So I'm going to go ahead and sign him and then eventually just move guards to the left guard. Moving on to the right tackle position, currently we have Kevin Schaefer as our number 1 guy, primarily known for his zone blocking ability. We're going to try to get Matt Forte going, more of a in more of a power blocking scheme. So I don't know if Schaefer's really going to be a good fit for us. I could sign Sean Andrews or Shane Alavia, but chances are they're looking for a 3-year contract. So my guy looks to be John Runyon, just based on his history for throwing bodies around, being an aggressive run blocker. So I want to sign him to a 1-year contract and really get that run game going. So it's not all in Jay's hands as far as the offense is concerned. And finally, let's move on to the center position. We have Olin Kreutz leading the way right now on the depth chart, just trying to find a solid backup for him. Kevin Midway looks like he's going to be our guy. Look at that 95 awareness. He really sticks out as far as the free agents go. A really solid player. Been around the league for a long time. 2018 Hall of Fame finalist. The only issue that I have with this signing is if Olin Kreutz retires this year and Kevin Midway does the same, I'm going to have a really big hole in the offensive line position to fill. So I'll either have to sign a free agent or use one of my early round draft picks to grab a center. Just to solidify my offensive line position even more, I'm going to sign Marshall Yanda. Looks like the average for his overall rating for guards, they're going to sign for about $10 million a year. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap him up with a 4-year contract. I think that pretty much sums up the video today. I'm going to go into the depth chart and just organize that to my liking, and then I'll get them ready for my first preseason game. Alright guys, if there's anything else that you thought I should do or could have done better for this team, let me know in the comments section. I'll see you guys next time.